I think we should do Fallouts because it was the launch. This is the first
Okay.
episode of the second season, and get people refamiliared with what was Fallout and what to expect in this
For sure.
upcoming season.
Dude, but that sounds about right. And you know what? I'll let you take it away and kind of explain what is Fallout for the normies, because people are just going to take a peek at this kind of image online and be like, I don't know if that's for me. Dude, what kind of show is Fallout? Break this down like they're five, like they've never seen this. What is this?
So Fallout is a adaptation of a very famous game that has gone over multiple consoles. So it's been on computer, it's been on PlayStation, and it's been on Xbox. In each one, you play a different vault. What a vault is think of a bomb shelter for the big nuclear bomb, but this time the bombs drop
Yes,
and
all
the,
of
the
them.
surface world is destroyed. Now, in this story, they play in a bid where the corporates are kind of in who caused it all, and they
Yeah.
wanted to make money off of this, and they saved their big corporate bigwigs in cryo freeze. And before I go any further, let's hit that siren. Woo! Let's start it slow. Let's start it slow.
Hey,
And
wait. That's like the Pee Wee's Playhouse word of the day thing. Ah, like that whole bit. You remember that back?
yeah.
We need to get that clip for our spoiler alert.
All right.
Yeah.
So they cryologically froze these people that were called Buds.
Buds. Yep.
Yep, to be the new leadership of the new world that they just nuked. And the whole way they want to get everyone to stop fighting is to get rid of all the factions. One world, one country.
Sounds positively dystopian.
Exactly. And that's what we're living in. We are seeing that the nuclear bombs did not kill everybody.
Nope.
And then we ended where we find out that this guy who was a vault leader, and the vault's supposed to be the safe place to help rebuild humanity, was supposed to be all goody, and it comes to find out that it's an experiment.
Yeah.
He's the one who's actually one of Buds, and now he's moving into a higher corporate role. And yeah, just a lot of stuff is happening. They rebuilt society, and he bombed it again.
He did. He really did.
His wife did it, and he
oblivion.
killed his wife, turned her into a ghoul. Now, a ghoul is a creature that is that's been radio poisoned, but somehow still lives. They have like a serum to keep them alive, and they can do a lot of killing.
We don't get into this game doesn't get too deep into the science, nor should it, because it is played and the show is played equally for like comic effect. It's sci-fi, gory, goofy. A plot, if you will. The Oracle. She's had her finger on the trigger for that since like 8:45. Yeah, the science doesn't add up in anything Fallout, but it's the price you pay for admission. You suspend that disbelief up front. It's not supposed to be a radiation simulator game. You know what I mean? So the show is able to do goofy things like, oh, we've got mutant cockroaches in the wasteland. Oh, we some people get irradiated by the fallout. I said the thing. And then they can live 200 years as long as they take that particular serum that the ghoul takes that delays like the complete rot of their brain and makes them feral.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's fairly unique in that. Everybody else degrades over time at some point until they go 28 days later on your ass. Like that's pretty much how it goes. There's a lot going on this show, right?
Yes.
And I think I screwed up, and I probably should have done a mild refresh of season 1 because it's been over a year. I remember most of the big stuff, and this show does feel like a perfect continuation of season 1, don't get me wrong, but I didn't remember anything that was happening in the vaults. I literally only remember Lucy.
You did not watch the 15-minute intro where it pretty much you wrap the whole season in 15 minutes.
I feel like maybe I should go back and watch that again. I might have fallen asleep during that. I did watch this kind of early today, like right on waking up. That might have been a mistake also. But yeah, no, it was helpful. But I did hit up the Wikipedia and the GPTs with a bullet point breakdown. So I'm like, okay, that happened. Oh, that's this guy. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, and the show is broken. We're following pretty much. We're going to be following 3 groups throughout the season. All right,
all different people in different places.
Places. So you have your first group, which is following the daughter of Hank McLean. Who was the leader of the vault, who turned out to be one of Buds. His daughter got out of the vault to rescue him from season 1. And now here we are in season 2 where she's following around the Ghoul, not a Ghoul, the Ghoul.
Capital G.
Yep. Who was played by our all-time favorite, who could play any role. Walton Goins.
Goggins, you almost have
Goggins. Yeah, so close. I was practicing before too.
It's some bullshit too, because most people screw up the first name, and you nailed that. That's typical for the Den. It's what we do. Yeah, that's the A team.
They're not Korean names, okay?
That's a good point. I mean, you did nail all of those during the Train to Busan review, right there.
Yes, I did.
I'm just going to gesture there. We're never going to put the card that actually says Train to Busan review, but it would be right here. Anyway, that's the A team. It seems like they really want us to dig back into the B and the C kind of plots in this one, though. Not just the flashbacks to what life was pre-bomb. That's all told from the Ghoul's perspective, and when he was still fully human, had a family. He was like an actor,
movie star,
high-profile movie star, face of Vault-Tec.
Face of Vault-Tec. He sold cars, and he played mostly westerns.
Right, and that was his thing. He's a giant celeb in their version of in their retro futuristic version of like the 50s or whatever it was. But then they've got like the B and the C plots outside of that going on, and I feel like they're going to throw more weight on these. Like I had forgotten that little dude was stuck in the vault because the Bud's brain thing had locked him in, and now
the brain Roomba.
The brain room.
If you actually watch the captions, it says brain Roomba.
I remember that. So he's got a whole thing, and he just made a major power play to free himself from that situation. I'm glad that didn't drag out over multiple episodes, by the way. And then the bit with, is it Davey and Stephanie? Like the new Vault 33 administrator who's a plant from corporate.
Buds.
And the guy that's not the father of her baby being her nanny.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kind of weird. But like they spent like 10 minutes on that. And I'm like, I don't care about that, like at all. And then also telling Reg to start a new club because he's not feeling useless. There's like 3 things going on in the vaults. There's like 3 plots going on down there. And none of that seems really interesting to me besides the
You'll be surprised what he
Roomba.
can accomplish with a PhD in event planning.
Yeah. There you go. Not looking good for that guy. I'd fire that guy if I were them. But I mean, they're good.
Now just think about that for a minute. A PhD in event planning. What would the doctorate program look like in that?
Dude, it's 2025. I'm quite certain you know people that have some useless ass degrees.
No, I'm not talking about the grand scheme of it. I'm just wondering what the program would actually look like. Like what would be in a doctorate program of event planning?
Dissertation on the history of event planning in foreign cultures. I don't know. I mean, we can make some shit up. If you ran that prompt right now, it would give you an answer what it would look like.
Which brings us to our next business venture, Winter Wolf University. You might not be able to get into any college, but you can get into our college.
Patent pending, trademark pending, copyright pending. Yeah, they got a lot of that stuff built into the vault, but I want to see Lucy and the Ghoul because I feel like they're going to be able to bang out more interesting stuff between just them two because the actors are just better. Like they're like the top talent on the show, 100%.
Even though we haven't seen Aaron Morton or Maximus.
Yeah, not yet.
The show.
He's coming.
We haven't seen any of them yet. Yeah. Did you watch the after credits?
I think I did. Remind me what happened because I feel like I did stick around.
It was what to expect in season 2 of Fallout, and it pretty much was another trailer of everything to expect.
I remember seeing stuff that I think I already saw from the trailer, like that they had put out there. With is it Kunal Nanjiani? He's in there. Is he like the leader of another factory? He's the guy that shows up and says, "I didn't get my invitation to the end of the world." So I saw all that stuff. And obviously none of that happened in this episode.
So happy he's in this. He's a great actor. I love his comedic timing. He's really good.
Hated him in Ghostbusters, but he's pretty good in other stuff.
He's good in other stuff.
I'll give him that.
Silicon Valley.
Yep.
He was in a season of Only Murders in the Building.
I know you love that show.
That show was so good.
Dude's got some game.
Clever writing on that show.
But this show with Ella Purnell and Walton Goggins, they play off each other perfectly because the two characters are so distinctly different that they can lean into the whole odd couple bit. And I feel like that's exactly the direction they should take this. And they've already kind of maneuvered at that a little bit there, where he's reminding her that the wasteland still doesn't play by your golden rule. You keep shooting people in the kneecap. I guess I'll have to keep shooting them in the head after you're done. Because sooner
That
you
was
get a
a
kill.
gnarly first fight to start off
Was
the season.
I liked it. As I said, the thumbnail comes basically from that section. And I was like, dude, everything in the wasteland is squishy, bro. Everything is squishy when it dies.
I think the best shot though, overall, is
Yeah.
when it was like when they were in the new vault. I think that's Vault 2 that they're in Vegas.
21.
21? Okay.
The one where they found the commies?
Watch season 1. Yes, Pape. Watch season 1.
That why I didn't blink up on my screen. I have never watched the show season 1. Yeah. 100%. 100%. And you don't need to be, if you don't know what Fallout is, you don't need to be a fan of or if you do know, you don't need to be a fan of the game, have played through any of the games. You'll miss a couple of Easter egg inside jokey kind of things, I'm sure, but the story is solid. You'll be able to just pick up on what's going on and just get it intrinsically.
And we've talked about this before. Like, you have source material and adaptations are hard, but this is how you do an adaptation where you don't destroy the source material. You just use the lore. And I think that's what this whole series is about. Like, it's not trying to make it a shot for shot of the game like The Last of Us did with its show.
That's a great point in comparison, dude. Continue, please.
One of the things though is like when you're watching it, it looks like it's straight from the game. Like the dog in this one looks like that was the dog that was cast for the vocab for the game.
But they play it smart too, like, like the motels that they stop by or the truck stop that they stop by. That was just gross. But I mean, like the one, like their actual names, like I know, like the Starlight Motel or the Starbright, whichever one it is, like that's straight out of one of the games. And I'm pretty sure that the place that they start this episode is also a place. The factions they name, like was it the Great Khans? And the name of the town's like Novak. Like those are all lifted right off the game's POI list.
Yep.
And so like you said, I think they're just adapting lore, but but they're telling their own story. There's no story in any of the Fallout games where you play Lucy McLean and you're trying to rescue her dad to find out that he's actually the big bad, and now you got to hunt him down for war crimes. Like, no, they're telling a Fallout fucking story.
They
have played with some of the lore, but they're doing their thing.
Yeah. After this show, though, they did add the Ghoul as a playable character in their MMO, Fallout 76.
Mm-hmm. Solid game, terrible launch. I don't know if you played that at launch, dude. It was
awful. Yeah, they dropped
all platforms. It was terrible.
And then they it was down for like 6 months and then came back. Yeah. Final Fantasy 14 did the same thing.
It became
it became the Realm Reborn after they did the
now
relaunch.
It's the champ.
Yep.
They just had another content pack come out, dude. They blew up their servers. They had like a queue that had like 60,000 people waiting.
If I didn't have to pay for it, I think I would be on that one, because I really did like Final Fantasy 11, which was also their MMO. I really enjoyed playing that one. I put in, like, for a year straight, I put in some time in that one.
The monthly fee on those kind of games is rough on PC. If you had it on the box, there's no monthly at all.
There's too many free ones now. I know you did a little less quality. Like there's a lot of stuff lacking in a lot of the free play. Yeah, but it's not hurting my wallet.
Right, dude. It scratches the itch for the 3 days I want to play it and grind. And then I move on to like my usuals.
Yeah.
But this isn't a gaming channel, right? Not yet.
But we do have nerd culture, and games are highly part of it. And we are talking about a show that is based off of a game. So some games are going to leak in there. True. And of course, our rabbit holes are everywhere and we fall in quickly.
Dude, trip, fall. It's like stepping on a rake in a Three Stooges video from back in the day. Plank, it's just one of those. But no, just to tie off that point on adaptation, because I think I've come to accept that you've been exactly right on that point, is that adaptation is difficult. But the way to sidestep the proverbial minefield is to show source respect if you feel like you have to, or even if you just only want to make a couple changes. You just have to respect it as you're doing it. And I feel like Fallout is respecting what's been laid out in front of it. So if they had to change the date that one of the nukes went off, or where it went off first,
or who launched it,
or who did, that's a big ass change from the original concept of the game, which was very cold.
Actually, no, someone did correct us. It was always the Chinese.
But in this one, it's not. In the show, it's not though.
No, it is the Chinese because when they got into this episode and they were down in Vault 21 and they had the communist that they were programming, they
Yeah,
were speaking, it was going both between
Mandarin.
Russian and Mandarin.
Oh, true. Yeah, you're right. So,
Get those
you know,
subtitles on.
yeah, subtitles are clutch. So they just have to show it with some kind of respect. So if they do have to rename something or change the date of something, if it doesn't undermine the story in some meaningful way, I'm gonna knock down my own lore purism by like 5%. You gotta just take
Mm.
it, you can take it down a peg because famously everybody can point out the Lord of the Rings trilogy movies. She made some changes. It's not a line for line remake of some things, and literally nobody on the planet complained about those movies until they heard that from the 3 people that knew that inside and out. So it's still the best trilogy ever been filmed. You got to get over some of these differences. It does work as movies. Fallout as a show works, but I think it's going to be carried mostly by those two, mostly by Purnell and Goggins. And I don't know how that stuff in the vault is going to crack in a way that's going to make it interesting, except for the dude stuck in the room with all the other administrators, we'll call them. I really don't want to spoil a bunch of the details and get too
Yeah.
specific.
But
You
I
know?
think this one is really good of adapting the lore, building its own story as well. I think that's just it's hands down really good. And I think the actors really care about this one because I don't see anyone like is doing like Stranger Things. Like I picked up on like some people cashing it in a little. Just one
You were talking
particular.
about phone in. You were
Yeah.
definitely talking about phone in on our first video.
So on this one, I don't think anyone phones it in. I think everyone is so happy to be part of this, and it
Yep.
looks like they actually enjoy working together. If you see the behind the scenes footage and stuff
Yep.
like that.
I've said that before about other shows that we've watched. Where, like, you really get the impression that everybody had a blast and they're on the same page, and
Mm,
that go and you can see it in the end result too. You know, you
mm.
really can. You get the vibes that people are putting out there, and you know it's got to be a pain in the ass for Goggins because I'm sure that the whole Ghoul thing that's not all 100% digital. They got to be doing some kind of prosthetic work and makeup, get him in a chair for a few hours, right?
Everything from the head down to the shoulders is all prosthetics. He's in
Oh,
the
oh,
chair.
even the nose. I don't know
Yeah.
if they green painted out the nose to do the
No, that's the part of the
skull a bit.
mask.
Oh, get out of here! Oh, cool. Then, dude, that's what I mean. So this dude's putting in work, dude.
Yeah, they
The
did
young
the
lady's
same
putting
thing
in
to
work.
Vecna. They pretty much took the
Yeah.
same people who did Vecna from Stranger Things
Oh,
and
get
gave
out.
it to Goins. So
Cool.
when
Goggins.
you have that high quality makeup artist, they get hired a lot. We
Oh, I'm
have
sure that's a
we
word of
have
mouth
a
and recommended.
we have a
Oh, yeah.
local one here and she's fantastic. Like everybody tries to hire her, but she's also
Mhm.
like a full-time nurse. Like she's like the head nurse of a department at the big hospital here. So
Get out of here.
getting her, she has to kind of get that time off.
Oracle says that's a 2.5 hour process for make. Okay, that's not as bad as Vecna's because I was told that's like a 5 hour, 6 hour deal, and even the Pennywise makeup I was told is like 5, 6 hours, whatever that was. But even still, you're sitting in a chair for 3 hours, letting people poke your face. You probably can't breathe right. It's probably 900 degrees under the lights or wherever they're filming. It's uncomfortable. So I'm gonna give the guy credit. I'm not out there trying to tell him he's pushing pencils or anything at a desk like it's easy. And also, and the same for Ella Purnell who plays Lucy. Like she's in a bunch of other stuff that like is mainstreaming on it's like mainlining on different streaming services. Like she's on Yellow Jackets. I didn't know she was on Yellow Jackets. So she's in a bunch of other stuff as well. Initially, it was 5 hours. Okay, so now they just got good at it.
That or they made a cast. Like they probably the first
Yeah.
one, they're like they had to get everything shaped and
Now it's
everything.
just
Now
basically
it just like pull over like
Mission Impossible.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Hello. They're not just jamming his face into the cake batter.
Yeah.
That could work.
It was a run by fruity. It's my favorite part.
I miss Robin Williams, man. I'm not going to go off on a tangent there. I get all sad, dude. Brutal. 5 hours is brutal, man. I'll give him the respect for it. Yeah, Pape, you should definitely check out the show, man. If you're hungry to balance Robin Hood with now that Pennywise is over, if you're watching that, if you need some sci-fi to balance with and it's not really had this discussion. It's not really fantasy. It's more drama fantasy than
No, this is sci-fi.
fantasy.
I would
No,
definitely
I'm gonna say if you're trying to balance Robin Hood with something else, different genre, this is straight up sci-fi.
It's straight up
sci-fi through and through.
Yeah,
They have energy shields. They have weird guns. They have the wasteland. It's solid. It's a good show so far.
and
I do kind of want to see more of her father. I like that actor. I can't remember his name. The guy that plays Hank McClain.
Yeah, you know some of his big roles, right?
I can't remember his name or what he's been in, but I know I like him.
He
That's what
was
I'm saying. Like,
he was the original Atreides, Paul
oh, get
Atreides.
out of here. Okay, look at
Yep,
that.
in the first,
Look at that.
Dune movie, he was
Yeah,
in Desperate Housewives, and then
I
he's
think
been in a
I
few other
probably know him
things that
from some
these
of that.
what was that Marvel show that came out right after, the first Avengers?
Oh, Agents of
Agent
Shield.
yes, Agents of
Yeah,
Shield.
that's probably where I
He
remember
was
him
in
from, to be
that. He
honest.
was,
Yeah.
the Styler's mother or,
Yep.
father.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's probably where I remember him. Didn't have Prime during season 1, so skipped it. Haven't I, dude? I'd give it a watch. Honestly, I'm telling Kyle
Ron
MacLachlan. Thank you.
McLanahan. Yeah.
Thank you. I knew it sounded like his character name too, McLaughlin, McLean. I was like, I know it's one of those.
Yeah.
I think that's good for Fallout. I think we've told people
Yep.
about as much as episode 1. It is kind of a slow transition in. They're basically just back on the quest. It's a reintroduction to the world, but nothing big happens yet. It just kind of get your feet in the pool was episode 1.
Yeah, it's a reestablishment to the
Mhm.
universe,
Yep.
and I believe that it did it right because it didn't focus on too many people. It didn't bring everybody's story
Nope.
in.
You said the
It focused
Brotherhood's
on
not even
one
back
set.
yet.
Yeah, you don't even
Right.
see nothing of the Brotherhood except for
Nope.
in the what happened before in Fallout,
Yep.
and then what to look
So
forward to in Fallout. So,
so not in the episode at all. Like zilch.
but you
So,
do get to
all
see
right.
the power armor because McLean's still in it.
Dope, dude. And Pape, now this is the big one right here. Everything I said about on Alien Earth about how you don't shoot the Xeno in daylight because it looks like ass. They can shoot this power armor that you've probably seen, memed around, it's just on like online culture. They can shoot this in broad daylight and it looks badass. Like it looks like it's a functional suit of mechanical badassery. Fact. I must have sunk all the budget literally into this prop. Must have. Must have, because it's probably mix of CG and practical, but still, whatever they did, it looks pretty badass. People walking it, joints move, everything's articulated, things flex and flop, flap out and shit. Great effect. And I remember when they dropped that in season 1, and I saw that for the first time, I was like, yeah, they paid attention. They did their homework. That this is a working set of power armor. This is good shit. I was down with that.